Hi guys, welcome to part 3 of the teen drawing series. Now for this week, what we're going to do is, since we've already brainstormed an idea, we've kind of created a character, now what we're going to do is we're going to start plotting out what our final picture will look like. And you can see how this was kind of like plotting it out. As figuring out, okay, I want to go with this before I started testing colors, before I then reached this final. So we have our alien ballerina. As we can start deciding what kind of pose we want to go for. You know, do we want it to be dramatic like that? Do we want it graceful? Well, I mean, ballet poses are pretty graceful. But it's like, what kind do we want? Here's a set of all different kinds. And what we can do is we can start taking our paper. I'm going to scooch this over here. And we can start sketching out rough poses that we could possibly want. So here, roughly draw out the body for our little alien. And this one's a very simple pose. So it's like that could be a possible. Let's see, what do they have? I like this one because this is very, very dynamic. It's expressive. So, alien would be there. And this is where you'd be using the line of motion. And so line of motion is following from here down. And so we see, if we do that, it would go like that. So we'd have their body curving like this. If we did it in 3D, it'd be kind of blocked out like that. Arm would be going out over here. Other arm would be going up here and then here. Add in their hips. Leg going down till here. Other leg back here. And that's how it would look. So it's like we're gonna get some rough photos. This one's also very dramatic and dynamic. And again, when you look at the action line, it starts here and goes down. You know? So like this one, I did it like that. This one would be a simple straight up and down. This one, plop their head. And it's like, what way are they going? They're going like this. So, okay, we're gonna do that. Here. Now, as we draw this, roughly sketch out, again, if we're gonna 3D it, it'd be like this. Their hip would be turned over here. So this would be from the side. Leg going up, maybe a little bit higher. Like that. This back leg is going down and extended. This arm is reaching back to their foot. And this one is reaching up. So, okay, we have 3 different poses. If you're not satisfied with that, you could possibly look at other ones and see what they have. So this one also has a set of different ones. This one, action line is going here and down. This one's going that way. This is turning this way. So it's all about watching where the body moves and flows, especially as it connects to the ground. So I want something, ooh, that's pretty. Now that's dramatic. That I like. But that is kind of taking like these two poses and mushing them together. So we can take that as an idea. So head here, again, action line goes from here, head and down, kind of like a little S shape. So it goes here and down. So if chest is 3D, this is the side. Hip kind of turns out like this. This leg goes back, or maybe up higher. Their little foot. This leg goes down, almost like it overextends. Arms are up here. Other arm is up here, like that. So, if we don't like that, let's see what other ones pop up. And so that's what we're doing, is we're trying to figure out what do we want to mimic for a final photo. What do we want it to look like? Do we want it to look like that? Or do we want it to look like any of these poses? And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna start trying it out. So let me see. Oh, this is another one, kind of like this one, except more exaggerated. Again, action line starts here and goes down. So it's interesting following that. So let's try this one. Head is here, action line goes down, almost like a backwards question mark. And when we do 3D, kind of a quick sketch of it, kind of folds down like that. And then hips, you can almost kind of see. Legs go down and straight. Both legs down and straight. This arm lengthens out like this. This one reaches up like that. So those are kind of cool. So now we have to figure out what pose do we want to stick with, so then we can find our final photo. And you may just want to scroll through, see what pops up, if any's capturing your eye. That one's kind of cool. And just, again, roughly sketch it. Where's the line of action? It's right there. You're just following where is the head, how does the body connect and flow, and it flows like this. 3D it. Well, here's their body. It's pretty open towards you, so you can clearly see it. Hips maybe slightly more open towards you. This leg is extending down like that. This one is really up high, like that. Arm reaching up pretty much to touch their foot, and this arm extending out. So we have that. For final pose, this is what you start doing. It's like, do you like that? Do you like that? This one may be a little difficult, maybe not, or it could be easy. Who knows? It depends on your skill level and what you want to do. So I'm going to go back up to the beginning. And honestly, I kind of like this one. So, well, I don't know, actually, because I kind of like this one too. It's difficult, you know? It's like, do I do that one? Do I do that one? Do I do that? Do I do that? Because if we do this one, we're going to have to add the big round tutu. Kind of like how this one is. How it just kind of sticks up. Oh, they need to pull the camera up. Let me see. But I'm pretty sure a lot of you have seen it like this, how it kind of just sticks up right here. It's like a big circle. So if we do that, we can roughly sketch it out. Circle would go like this. Circle would go probably like this. Circle would go like this. Here, circle will go like this. This one, circle would go like this. And that's what you start doing, is you start looking, okay, where will the circle go for the tutu? How will it fit? And so this is part of the drawing process, is as you're piecing things together, you're figuring out what you're gonna do. So now that we have the circle, I kind of like this one. And so you know what? We'll just mark. Here, I'm gonna take one of my pens. I'll start introducing these to you in the next video. And I'm just gonna mark, you know, this one I like. This one looks kind of cool. And I kind of like this one. But this one's also cool too. So we're gonna mark our favorites. If you have other favorites, you can pick them and take the steps of what I'm gonna teach you into implementing them. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start taking these poses and plugging in our little alien. So I'm gonna roughly sketch out this one again, and you may want to go back to the old reference photo. So for that one, let us see, where is it? It would be this one. So we're gonna start taking it out like this, kind of 3D blocking it. Legs go here and down, feet. They're extending this leg back and up pretty far. Oop, that's a pretty big foot. Let's fix that. This one, arm goes out like this and up, and what we're going to do is we're going to mark it, this is side profile. Arm goes up here and here. So now that we have it blocked out, we can take a handy dandy kneaded eraser. You may have to warm it up depending on yours. Mine needs a little warming up, so I'm gonna kind of pull them apart. And what we're gonna do, put them back into shape, and we're just gonna start lifting this. You can roll it, you can lightly rub it, and it just kind of lifts some of this, so it's not too dark, So as you work on it, it'll lighten up and it'll be pretty. So if this is a human head, we want to block out an alien's head since they're kind of bulbous. And this is when we start flipping and it's like, okay, side profile, we have it marked out like that. Okay, itty bitty nose, kind of a pointed chin. Block them in here. They're more tiny, so we will be exaggerating their figure. So right here we'll put the arm socket or shoulder socket. Here will be like a leg socket, other leg socket. So then we're going to start sketching this in. And you know what? It's a rough sketch. Doesn't matter. Here. Trying to erase some of that. Add that in. Arm up and bent, and hands, and then this arm. I think this one extends out more than the other, so we can do that. And then hand here. And you just block it out. It's like, okay, now let's add that big ol' gigantic tutu. So to do that, you're gonna block out, okay, this is where the tutu would sit. Space it out, let's say this big. And so she's kind of to the side, so it wouldn't fan out that much. Probably fan out to here. And you just want to try and figure out, okay, if it's going that long, it needs to extend that long. And fan it out. And it wouldn't be, because the original figure is turned to the side, this wouldn't fan out completely. It may even fan out a lot shorter, now that I think about it. And so you'll see a lot of the underparts more so than what's on top. And so it's just all, you know, testing it out, seeing how it looks. What do we think? Does that fit? Does that work? How do we want to exaggerate it? If we want to exaggerate it, if we like it, if we don't like it. Little alien eyes and a smile. Just to make it pleasing. Okay, so that's an idea. So now let's try, let's say this one. So again, you may want to go to the reference photo. So for that one, there we go. Now we have the reference photo, so we can start blocking it out, kind of like how this one is. Again, it's mostly to the side. Let's see. If you mess up, it's okay. Just erase. Roughly block the head. And again, adding in that line of action. So now that we have that, we can start figuring out, okay, their neck is there. Let's see. Hips right here. Chest here. arm socket here because it's going like this. Arm is extending out like this. Okay. Other arm is extending up here. It's okay if it doesn't look completely perfect. So what you can always do is you can pull it over more. You know, erase some of this. Pull it over more. There's the hips and both legs go down like this. You know? And then this is when we can start, okay, lightly lifting it again. And go, okay, do we like this? How can we change this? What do we want to do? Again, side profile, mark it as such, add in the huge head for the alien. Hand like that. And if you have to add little French fries as the fingers, that is totally fine. Legs are like this. Both little feetsies. There we go. Big old alien eyes and a smile. Maybe make the head a little bit bigger. So then the skirt would sit more like here, because this is not, the skirt she's wearing is not as prominent as what I want. So then, again, this one wouldn't fan out that much. Figure out how big you want it, how much you want to show. So it would be like that. Okay. I kind of like this one more. And the more I look at these other ones, the more I'm like, these may be a little too hard. Okay, so we have this one as a 1. So what we can do is go back to our reference photo, and we can keep that one up as we try and figure out how we want to make this one work. So what we can start doing is move over to this side where we can work on the final photo. So keep this up here as reference. We will look over here. I think you can see that. So we're going to be looking over here, taking this one, and we're going to just start going for it. We're going to block it out. So you can take, let's say the normal size head of a human is right here. Line of action kind of goes down, swoops, and then goes down. So now we're going to block it. 3D, block it. So torso kind of comes over here. And we're going to take the hips over over here. And I'm just gonna start working on this. Let's see. Let me move this closer so I can see it. So there's that one. That one. Arm number 1. Arm numero uno. This may, whoop, if it'll let me, it will not. Okay, fine then. I'll be looking, okay, this may be closer to her nose than expected, so I'll do that. Add in this, and then her hand, that kind of just goes like that. And then other arm, we're gonna take and just follow it over here. And her, she kind of does the same thing. It's okay, again, if you can't really draw fingers, they're difficult. That kind of looks bad, but you know what? It's a rough sketch, and that is okay. So then with this one, if we have the tutu, it would sit like right here in the middle, and we're just kind of like fan out almost. But again, not too big. So we're gonna at least mark it like that, so we have something. Take the kneaded eraser, and we're gonna lighten this up. And then we're going to start. Okay, hopefully this works. Hopefully this doesn't overheat and die again. So, I'm sorry this will be kind of a problematic film for you, Dana. I apologize. Anyway, guys, so what we're going to do, we're going to lighten it like it is now. And now we're going to start adding in the features that make it an alien. So we're going to start blocking out the head. And you know, this is when we'll start flipping back and referencing. How does it look? What did we do for this specifically? You know, how do we want them to be? Their personality. We should give them a name. I don't know. I'll think about a name. So as we're doing that, we're gonna start adding in, this is normal human head. We're gonna start extending the cranium. Maybe they have more of a hitch in the back. So, say this is the neck area. Start adding in the little boomp on it. And we're just going to start defining these features. You can add harder lines to make sure this is what you want. You can do it lighter, softer, sketchy lines. It's whatever you prefer. So as we're going to do this, we're going to add, you know, just nice little things. Maybe their eyes are like part way open. Did we give her alien eyebrows? No, we did not. And this one we did. And this one we did not. How would that look? I don't know. We'll see. If you want to, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. So we're just going to start doing that. Now, again, you can take your reference photo, keep it nearby, as well as your little sketch. This would be called a thumbnail. So technically it'd be smaller because usually thumbnails are as big as your thumbnail. There's an itty bitty little sketch like this, which is why they're called thumbnails. Like that. So that'd technically be a thumbnail because it's an itty bitty little thing, but we don't want to draw an itty bitty little thing. We want to draw something big. So this is when we'll just start remembering, okay, what are the measurements for an alien body? You know? And this is where you can start lightening up even more the original sketch. Because this is going to be your canvas. What do you want with this alien? What do you want them to portray with your drawing? You know? And so I'm just taking normal human shapes, figures, and I'm exaggerating them more. And this is what you want to do. You want to start exaggerating it. So if they have itty bitty little hips and itty bitty little legs, as we've determined, then we've got to start making them very itty bitty. And so you want to follow your reference photo, follow the lines on them, like how this leg goes, swoops down and swoops up, because they have their knee locked in position. So swoop down, swoop up, and then to be on point, maybe make their legs really thin. Because I mean, if we look at old pictures of aliens, they are very, very, very thin. So we're going to start exaggerating that more. So maybe if they're that thin, this leg will go out like this. Again, following the reference photo of how the leg is moving. And leg goes out like this, and then goes back in. Because the on point is like this. And add in that very thin alien-esque bone structure. And it may be that with that alien bone structure, we may have to move this leg over, as you can see now, because this does not connect correctly. So what you can do is you can roughly sketch where it should be going, because this should do a smooth transition line. So this goes locked in like that. Locked in like that. One point. And then we can start taking the original one, start erasing it. And make it disappear. And then just start adding in, okay, this is where we wanted it to go. Okay, it's like this. Okay. That's just what you want to do. Erase more of that. Like that. And as we get closer to completing this, we can start erasing more of these lines. So now we have to get to the alien pulling its arm up like this. Again, following the contour of lines that you see in the reference photo. Remembering alien anatomy is very, very exaggerated. So this is where it starts getting tricky, and you want to start looking at how they place their hand. Oh, okay, it's allowing me to do that. So you can zoom up, see what their hand looks like, and roughly sketch it. So it looks like this pinky is like this. This one is like this. This one is like this. This one is like this. And then the thumb is underneath like that. And all of this, where the thumb is in shadow. So to push it back, you can make that area kind of dark. So yeah. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Now to the other arm. So we're going to do this. And then we'll also look at their hand, see what their hand is doing, and try and replicate it. One finger going like that, thumb like this, another finger over here, one behind it like that, third over here. So that one looks more goofy, but it's because we got to push these into the shadow back here, because it's just this one. And there we go. So now that we have that, we're going to start trying to figure out how do we want to make this costume look. Oh, and you want to erase this because we don't exactly have a see-through alien. Do we have a green alien? Do we have a gray alien? I don't know. Check out next time when we start figuring that part out with coloring and inking the photo. So now that we have this, now we can start adding in more detail. And that's what we're doing. Just adding in things that define it. Exaggerating lines, darkening them. So that is what we're going to do. So it looks almost ready, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you to do, take your kneaded eraser if you have one. If not, then that's okay. Or a normal eraser, and just very lightly pick up, very lightly erase the lines we've put in. Because what we're going to do is we're going to define them more. And as we define it, then we'll know what we're going for, what we want, and we can make this into the final photo. We do, please. So with that is you're just going to take your pencil, and what you're doing is just going over the lines that you want to keep. Oops. If you make a mistake, that's okay. Just erase. Sorry if I'm moving, Dana. I'm trying to scooch up. This is weird setup for me. And chair's trying to scooch out. I'm gonna reset this shot. There. Okay. Now, but yeah, this is all we're gonna do. It takes time. It's a work in progress. But it is what it is. What are the lines you want to keep? How do you want to make them look? How defined, how crisp. And that looks a little funky. Let's fix that. Add that in. Erase this goofiness under here. Add some more shadow so at least we can tell our mind, hey, that's going in the shadow. Start taking this line. So that goes like that. Push these into the shadows. There we go. And go out to here. Go out to here. Now we're going to start trying to figure out what do we want their costume to look like. Let's look at our handy dandy Pinterest and add in ballet costumes and seeing what do we want? How do we want this? What would an alien ballet costume look like? Would it be more angular? More futurific, so to speak? Maybe we can start designing that. And so what I'm doing is I'm experimenting with making a futuristic ballet costume. Push that in the back. Make it connected so it goes around to here. You probably can't see it on the underside, but at least we know it's connected to the back. Erase this line, erase that line, erase any others. Just reconnect them, you know, redraw them in. And this is all we're doing. We're gonna make this happen. What kind of crazy shapes would they look like? Maybe till there, since it's twisting. And then we're gonna have to add the tutu, since this is where we wanted it positioned. And maybe we can make this tutu kind of big and globular, but it's all about perspective, and if they're more to the side, it would change the shape of it because of the angle it's coming from. So this angle, make it out like that. This angle would make it out like that. This angle would connect from the background down into here. So say it's normal, let's say a diamond pattern tutu with a hole in the middle. What I'm thinking is, you know, we cut it like this. And that's what it is head on. But when you turn it to the side, like how this is, this looks more exaggerated and huge. Top does too, but the bottom is more thin and angular. You see where I'm going with this? Yeah, so let's do that. Add lines to this, lines to this. Or if you don't want to do that, that's totally fine, you know? Make it how you want it. And maybe we can't see the lines with this because it's turning more towards this way. Maybe we can only see a faint. Same with that one. So we're just gonna start messing with it, you know? Add in the legs. There we go. We can get rid of some of these lines in here. Start cleaning this up. And now we have more of a finished product. I'm gonna start adding in more lines. Again, getting rid of some like this in here, because you know what, that's not part of the costume. Yes, it's the bone structure underneath, but it's not part of the costume. Maybe add some ribbing in here, because I mean, it is an alien. Do this, add Like that. Define this more. Erase more things here. And just keep chipping away at it. Okay, I think we have a working ballerina now for a final picture. So let me erase all of this because this is part of the final photo. Try and erase some of this down here. And you want to use an art gum eraser for this because this really picks up any graphite from your pencil that's hanging around. It really picks it up so it's nice and clean. And so now that it's cleaned up, I think we have pretty much an almost finished photo. Well, not photo, but picture. So guys, what we're gonna do next time is we're gonna start learning how to ink this and color it. So I will show you my tricks. We'll add in details for the face, figure out what we want to do. But I'll see y'all next time.